everyone, my name is Jaspher and Baldelovar from BS Ed 1 Mount Carmel College of Kasiguran, and I'm here to discuss to all of you the sociolinguistics. First and foremost, when we first heard about the word sociolinguistics, the first thing that's been up on our mind is society, and next from the word linguistics, which means language. And that idea is really what sociolinguistics are. But what sociolinguistics is all about? Now we move on to the definition of sociolinguistics to more understand it and to more elaborate its definition. Sociolinguistics is a word that encompasses all areas of linguistics that are applied to the relationships between language and society, as well as how humans utilize language in various settings. It also encompasses anything from the study of vast range of dialects throughout a specific region to the comparison of how men and women converse with one another. Also, sociolinguistics is the study of the impact of many characteristics of society, such as cultural norms, expectations, and context on how language is used, as well as the impact of the society on the language. It is distinct from the language sociology, which focuses on the impact of the language on society. Based on the definitions of sociolinguistics, we can state some features of the connections of society and our language. First, a sociolinguistics is a branch of linguistics. Second, a sociolinguistics is concerned with the relationship between language and society. And third, sociolinguistics as part of our daily lives. And fourth, the sociolinguistics as our language. And last but not the least is the sociolinguistics is related to the methodology and contents of social sciences. On the first characteristics, we have the sociolinguistics as a branch of linguistics. Sociolinguistics is the discipline of linguistics that studies how society and social factors influence language. It studies the effect and interactions of language with many social characteristics, such as ethnicity, social class, gender, and cultural norms. It's also the branch of linguistics that analyzes just those features of language and languages that must be explained in terms of social, including contextual factors. Sociolinguistics it also looks to the relationship between language and society from every angle, and also it focuses on the social spaces that languages fill, a topic that has traditionally been ignored by the science of linguistics. Next characteristics is sociolinguistics as concerned with the relationship between language and society. The study of the relationship between language and society, as well as how people utilize language in various social circumstances, is known as sociolinguistics. The fundamental concept of sociolinguistics is that language is constantly evolving and varied. As a result, language is neither consistent nor uniform. Instead, it varies and is inconsistent for individual users as well as between among groups of speakers that speak the same language. The next characteristics is how sociolinguistics is part of our daily lives. Sociolinguistics are interested in how people speak differently in different social situations, as well as how we employ specific language functions to transmit social meanings or are parts of our identity. Sociolinguistics instructs us on how we understand real-world attitudes in social situations, and also its study of language on its social context and helps us to comprehend our reality. Next, the fourth characteristics is how sociolinguistics as a language. The study of language in its social environment is known as sociolinguistics. We utilize the socially defined and convey of who we are, where we came from, and who we are associated with. It's a branch of linguistics that studies how society influences language and vice versa. We deal with the difficulties encountered in acquiring a language or how a language is acquired, as well as how a language is modified in response to various social contexts in this branch. Sociolinguistics is a branch of linguistics that studies the impact of society on language. As a result of it, it is extremely essential in this field of linguistics. The last but not the least characteristics is social linguistics is related to methodology and contents of social sciences. Social linguistics methodology differs from classical structural linguistics, especially on Chomsky's transformational generative grammar. Social linguistics methodological distinguishing features in the use of qualitative and quantitative methodologies to investigate language features in speech communities. Also, social linguistics paid considerable more attention to spoken forms in previous research since they could be investigated in speech communities and easily explained by the interactions between language variables and social linguistics variables including ethnics, groups, age, social status, and gender. Now we proceed on different kinds of social linguistics. We have 9 types. First is the dialect. Dialect is a language that group of people uses to communicate with one another. The speaker of the language qualities of the single speaker. Idiolect is the language characteristics of a group of speakers or a language used by individual speakers. Beyond these individual distinctions, the language used by a group of individuals may be different from the use of other groups of language speakers on a regular basis. When speakers English from one geographical regions and social groupings differs in systematic way, the groups are considered to speak different dialects of the same language. Next, we have the lingua franca. It is a language used by many people from different areas, countries, and nations, social and commercial communication. Third is the style. Style is the dialect and use of different situations, and many speakers have the ability to use a number of different styles ranging between the two extremes of formal and informal. But many culture have the different rules of social behavior that strictly govern style. Next, we have the slang. It's a word or phrases is used for only a short time by particular groups of people, and it is usually informal. And also we have the jargon or argot. Jargon or argot is the terminology or phraseology used by a particular class or profession. Now we have the pidgin and creole. Pidgin is the composite language developed as communication between speakers of different language, resulting in a simple friction of combination of pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary of two languages. When we trades or missionaries or travelers need to communicate with people who speak a language unknown to them, a pidgin many develop based on the language that is simplified lexically, phonologically, and synthetically. When a pidgin is widely used is learned by the children as the first language, it is creolized. Second, before the last is we have the taboo and euphemism. Taboo is the word phrases that have impolite expressions. Taboo words and acts give rise to the euphemism. Euphemism is a use of indirect word or phrases to express unpleasant. Example, pass away for die. And last but definitely not the least is the artificial or natural. It is a language made by human. To give you more an idea and knowledge about the social linguistics, here are some of its definitions. Social linguistics is the descriptive study of the effect of any of all aspects of society, including cultural norms, expectations, and context, on the way language is used and society's effect on our language. It differs from sociology of language, which focuses on the effect of language in society. Social linguistics overlaps considerably with pragmatics, is closely related to linguistics anthropology. Social linguistics can be studied in various ways such as interviews with speakers of a language, match guise tests, and other observation or studies related to dialects and speaking. Social linguistics' historical interrelation with anthropology can be observed in the studies of how language varieties differ between groups separated by social variables. Example, ethnicity, religion, status, level of education, and age, and also geographical boundaries. Such studies also examine how such differences in usage and differences in beliefs about usage produce and reflect social or economic classes. As the usage of language varies from place to place, language uses also varies among social classes, and it is the sociolex that sociolinguistics studies. Now we proceed on the two concepts of sociolinguistics, the interactionist and variationist sociolinguistics. First, the interactionist sociolinguistics. Interactionist sociolinguistics is principally interested in what language use can feel us about social process, and therefore, a central concern is the social meaning of a language use. Interactionist sociolinguistics is a type of discourse analysis that looks at how individuals use language in personal interactions with a particular focus on how people manage their social identities and activities while interacting. Now we move on the second concept of sociolinguistics, variationist sociolinguistics. Variationist sociolinguistics is interested in accounting for linguistic variation and change, at least partly as a product of the social distribution of language varieties. It is therefore less concerned with the meaning as the process and more concerned with the interaction of linguistics and social systems. It is different in interactionist sociolinguistics as it focuses on social variation in dialects and examines how this variation is highly structured. That's all the definitions, concepts, characteristics, and ideas of sociolinguistics. I hope that you get a lot of knowledge and learnings on our discussions for today. And thank you for your attentions and time on listening on our topic. Once again, thank you and have a great day. Goodbye.